Okay, let's talk about the tactics of a striker for our team. In my opinion, there are 4 basic jobs of a striker. Goal number 1 is to mess with the defenders. So, in this arrangement, we have our attacking player and their defensive formation, pressure, cover, balance. But this attacking player is going to be our midfield player. Now, let's say this is our halfway line all the way across. Ta-da! Now, if you, the striker, are positioned up here, you are not doing a very good job messing with the defender. Don't be up here. In fact, you are not in the right place at all. You need to be on the attacking half, which is why you're a striker. So let's presume that our team is moving the ball in an effective manner by going through the 1, 2, 3 steps. Your goal is to continue to mess with the defender by moving around in this figure 8 pattern that you will see here in a second. But notice how you, the striker, is not positioned on a particular player. You're right in between. This forces the right side defender and the left side defender to kind of guess, hey, who's covering that guy? If you're far left or far right, it'll be easy for them to make a decision. So you'll mess with the defender by staying in the middle of each. Both of you should be moving in this figure 8 pattern, and you're constantly touching them, tapping them, bumping into them, talking to them. You're messing with their EQ. This will affect their game, even put them on tilt. This will help you as a striker. Notice here that you are standing too close to your defender on the right side. Go wide. This will be better, because now he's got to guess. He's got to focus on you. He's got to think about where you're at. As our team is moving the ball from point of attack to negative and constantly rotating the field, your job is to constantly mess with the defense by moving in this figure 8 pattern, touching them, getting in their head, making them second guess you. And when the opportunity arises, you capitalize on passes and shooting. The second goal of a striker is to create space. You do this in 2 ways. Here, in this example, our outside wing has the ball and he's advancing. Here is their defense. First the pressure, then their cover, and now their balance. And as always, you, the striker, are positioned, nope, not here. Why? Because if you advance forward, the defense automatically advances with you. They know exactly where you're going, so they're just going to follow you. So, go here, right in the middle. Now they've got a second guess. Now you're in their blind spot. You're not too far ahead, you're not too far behind. It's kind of like the right spot because they've got to figure out what's going on and they've got to kind of play this mind game with you. See, he doesn't know who's covering him. You're doing the figure 8 thing, and that's much better. You're now creating space for your teammates. Now, let's create space for yourself by moving to the space. Before you couldn't do that because he followed you, but now you've come from his blind spot. So now you've come from his blind spot, you've created space, now you're advancing to a new area where you can receive the ball. This is one way. Perhaps we try a different way. You come from his blind spot again, from behind. Now we check to the ball from the outside shoulder of the defender, and now you receive and turn. You can even do that from the other side. Come from his blind spot, go through his inside shoulder, receive, and turn. A lot of people believe that a striker's main job is to score goals. And as we're going to learn today, that is not the only job. You have 4 jobs. Look here, we have a left side winger and our other striker or other forward. Now, in this case, the defense is focused on the left side, but the ball is over here on the right. As our outside wing dribbles, dribbling does one thing very effectively. It always draws the eyes to the dribbler. So while the ball is being dribbled, we advance to space, all the eyes are being shifted, and now the outside wing over here can take advantage of their distraction. He can run to this space, he can run to this space, he can run to many spaces. Because, hey, your job as a striker is to create space for both you and your teammates. Let's say you are the other attacking forward and you make this run 10 times. 9 out of those 10 times you will not receive the ball. And that's okay, because your job is not to receive the ball and score. Your job is to create space, and you do that by making these runs. So, when it doesn't happen, just loop back around, get back in position, and go again. In this next scenario, our attacking winger is dribbling and advancing forward. He's going to goal. To create space for him, we want to advance beside him but fade away. You don't want to fade into him, because that causes your defender to also get into his way. We are more likely to score in a 1-on-1 scenario or 2-on-2 scenario, but never a 2-on-1 scenario. Remember, as a striker, your goal is to create space for yourself as well as teammates. Sometimes the best scenario is for you to be a human wall, receive the ball, and serve to space so that others can advance. Receive here, 1-2 to this space, 1-2 to a different space, or even 1-2 to a through space. But just because you get the ball doesn't mean you have to turn and score. Let's look at this scenario. In this scenario, we're going to create space by bending the rules just a little bit. We're not breaking the rules because we're working within the rules. Here, we have our defensive line and their setup. Clearly, we are off sides. Why? Because the ball is not with us. The ball is going to be over here with our, let's go with this guy here, the winger. We, as the striker on the bottom, are off sides. The ball is passed up here to our other forward. We are still off sides. This is good because the attention is on the ball dribbling. As always, when the ball is dribbling, it changes everyone's perspective. But look, now we are on sides. We have used the rules and we have created space, and now that we are on sides, we can follow along as we discussed before, fade away to the back post, and get ready for a simple cross. The defender has forgotten about us because he thought we were offsides. It wasn't concerned with us, and he's now focused on the dribbler. Let's look at another scenario where we kind of bend the rules. In the old rules of soccer, offsides does not apply to our half of the pitch. So, let's say the ball is up here at our corner. The entire defensive line is on our half. But once again, as a striker, our goal is not to drop back completely and play defense, but to take advantage and mess with the defense as well as create space. So we stay on this line. We are considered onsides in some versions of the rules and with some referees. So let's talk about the third job of a striker, composure. This is most applicable when taking shots on goal. The most common scenario is when the ball is inside the 18, and for whatever reason the ball is moving around, is being dribbled around. Your goal as the striker is not to just rip it hard because you've got the ball. No, your job is to keep composure, find space, work with what you got, and take simple passes to the net, simple strikes to the net. Perhaps you don't even make the shot and it bounces off the keeper. Composure says, I will follow through and go for the second shot. Maybe you're not even the one who shot it. You're the other striker, the other forward, or the other player. Composure says that I see the chaos, but I'm going to follow the patterns. I'm going to follow the rules, and I'm going to be ready for anything. I'm going to stay composed and be prepared for a simple, calm shot, calm pass to the net. And finally, the fourth job of a striker is the defensive component when the other team has the ball and they're trying to advance forward. Here is their defense. They have gained shape. Their outside defenders and their central defenders. Your goal as a striker is to keep the ball from switching fields. You'll position yourself in the middle, pick a side, any side, and once the ball goes to the left side or the right, you will do your best to contain. You don't want them to shift the position of the field. Every time the ball shifts position, that shifts the entire team, which creates new angles. If you eliminate these angles, it forces them to stay on one side. They may attempt something like this. That's okay, because that would be a mistake because we have other players on the pitch. Our team is supposed to have pressure cover balance, so players are supposed to be there. As a striker, your goal is to minimize the other team's ability to change the point of attack.